All right, Mr. G here. We're going to revisit our first melody, and we're going to add our second part to that one. And then we're also going to add the second part to our second melody in a major scale. We'll do that all in this one video. Up to now, we're used to things like skipping and stepping and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to explore something a little bit different here. Up until now, I've had you start and stop the second voice on tonic, just like our Cantus Firma, our first melody was. I'm going to explore something different in these next two exercises where I am going to start on a note other than tonic and end on a note other than tonic for our second part. I'm going to start on a harmony note, a note that sounds great. Our prettiest harmonies, I would say, prettiest intervals would be a third, followed by a sixth, and then followed by a fifth. That's just my personal preference. We're going to start on a third, which means I'm going to start the second part on an E, and I'm going to end it on an E. Let me get that up louder where we can hear it. Do that again. All right, let's see here. Here's our E. Let's do this. There we go. And then you can hear the E at the end. Got it? All right. Now, same basic rules of skipping and stepping are involved. Try to avoid successive skips or leaps, and let's see what happens. I'm going to start at the beginning. We got an E and a C here. The C goes up to the D. I'm going to leap up to a B. And then when we see the top voice going from a D up to an F, I'm going to step that from that B down to an A. And an A to an F there, that's a 6. That sounds really pretty. Then F goes down to E. I'm going to go A to G. We have parallel sixths. So that's good. And then the E goes down to the C. I'm going to go G down to the E. Parallel sixths again. That E, I'm going to put it to an F right here. That gives us a third. And then I'm going to stay on the F. F and the D together make a sixth. And then we resolve it back to the E. So here's what it sounds like. Now, one thought, I have parallel sixths, F, E to C, 3 parallel sixths in a row. If that seems a little redundant, I could have left this E right on the G and do contrary motion into a fourth. Not as desirable right now, but let's see what that sounds like though. Let me put this here. Let me do something. There we are. All right, now let's play it. Oblique motion. You know, I think I like that better. And it gets rid of having too many of the same thing in a row. So we don't have 3 sets of parallel sixths. Let's listen to that one more time. Fantastic. Now, let's take a look at our second melody. Move this down. There we are. I've already mapped it out. So let's take a look at it. I'm starting and ending on an E again for this one. C down to a G. E to an E. G goes up to an A, E goes down to a D, there's a fifth, but it's contrary motion into a fifth, so we're good. Top voice moving up, bottom voice moving down. Then I did a pretty extreme leap here. I went from a D down to an A, while my A went up to the F. Now I could have easily taken this to another place. I could have gone to a C maybe. Let's try this. It's contrary motion into a fourth and an octave. Still, that's a pretty big leap in between there, but we'll see what we can do with that. And then, oh, B to an E. There's a parallel force. We really don't want that. So why don't I just use oblique motion, C to E, F down to E. And you see the voices are moving up towards each other. F to D. There's a sixth. And then we have, I might just go ahead and put an F there to an E, or let's see. C, I went up to an F. I really need to come down to an E here. Now that won't work because that's parallel motion or similar motion into a fifth, and we really can't have that. So if I left the F right here, oblique motion, F and a B, there's a tritone, but you know, I'm kind of walking away from having to avoid the tritone all the time. I think I'll like how this sounds. Let's see here. Not sure I like that. All right. Kind of used the same thing in the last one, didn't I? Yes. So let's come back to this one. See if I can come up with a different solution. E to E is good. What if I did parallel thirds here? F. Right? Then I could go up to an A, which would make it a sixth there. What if we did A up to a C, B. Let's see what this sounds like. I think I got some voice crossing I'm not sure I like. Maybe. But I'm leaping down from this B down to this F and then stepping. Now we can't do that. So I'm gonna have to back up here. We got E to an E. I'm good there. What if I came down to a C here? That's all right. And then go to a D. C to D. G to G. Let's try this. Oblique motion, contrary to a sixth. Okay. Oblique. I think I like that better. What if we did this? Okay, there's a lot of sixths in here, but that seems to be the way this piece has worked itself out. I might be changing some things when I go back in and add more parts later, but I think we'll leave it at this point right now. All right, now we have our two minor melodies, we have our two major melodies, and we have two parts to our four melodies. We're going to go back and start adding third and fourth parts now and see about fleshing these things out. But before we get to that part, we're going to talk a little bit and have a short lesson on chords, what chords we'll be using in this situation and what defines the chords we use, etc. All right, Mr. G out. Bye-bye.